And this is Pound for Pound Boxing.
Voice of a new generation.
When we pull back, no punches.
Mailbag edition.
And what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about questions that people have asked us on our email accounts at P4P@yahoo.com, the YouTube account, and also comments and concerns that were left on our either channel or actual videos. So we're going to move into the questions. The first question we got is from Teflon Dom from YouTube, and he wants to know, what can we expect from a John Duddy versus Pavlik fight? Your thoughts on that, Knowledge?
I think that
John Duddy is a very good boxer, but I think that Pavlik's power is going to be shown in this fight, and I think it's going to be another fight that Pavlik just decimates another opponent. John Duddy's still up and comer in the game, and he's really fought nobody credible right now that I would see him
to derail the freight train of Pavlik.
I agree. John Duddy really has, Jody Boy Campas is probably his most credible opponent, and even to that, I mean, Campas is a shot fighter, as in he's already past his prime, way past his prime now. So I mean, that is in itself, it is an accomplishment, yes. But if you're gonna take on this sharp puncher and hard puncher and Kelly Pavlik, I think they're just rushing John Duddy into this fight. It's all a money fight. What I see for Bob Arum is just him making money on the St. Patty's Day fight in Boston, Massachusetts.
Definitely.
So we don't see it as a good fight for Pavlik. I mean for Duddy. Pavlik wins all day long, I think.
All day long, 9 out of 10, probably 10 out of 10 times. To be honest.
So yeah, that's what we think about that one. The next one comes from Edwin T from the Yahoo account, and he asked, when Tito fights Roy Jones Jr., is he just fighting him to win to get the Bernard Hopkins?
Man, if he's fighting Roy Jones Jr. to get the Bernard Hopkins, that's probably like the worst path, worst type of fight to get to Bernard Hopkins. Why the hell not fight a lesser fight? I don't think that's
or just go straight to Bernard Hopkins.
Or go straight to Bernard Hopkins. I'd rather take Bernard Hopkins before I take on freaking Roy Jones. Because that's what he is. He's a freak. I mean, nobody's got the skills that Roy Jones possesses. I mean, he's fast, he's flashy. Yes, he's out of his prime. But let me tell you something. What he could do out of his prime, people dream they could do in their prime. And that's a fact.
Definitely.
So, Tito taking on Roy Jones is not to get Bernard Hopkins. I think that's a good fight if he beats Roy Jones. That, yeah, taking on another opponent such as Bernard Hopkins will be, since it was his loss, that'd be a good, credible fight. But, I mean, I think Roy Jones in itself is a task and a mountain to climb, and I don't see Tito trying to make this move.
Definitely. I don't think Tito, to be truthful, wants anything to do with Bernard Hopkins. Yeah. I think if they do happen to fight again, it's just going to be the same outcome as the first time. Bernard is just going to whip on Tito for 12 rounds or possibly knock him out a lot sooner. That's just me. And like he said, the worst possible fight for Tito to come back to, I truly believe, was the Roy Jones Jr. He could have fought anybody else under the sun and made a pretty good buck doing it. And he picked probably the toughest, it's definitely going to be the toughest opponent he's had. Regardless of what you guys may think. You guys may think that, oh, Bernard Hopkins is better, oh, Winky is better. No. Roy Jones is the best, or was the best, and still can be the best. Like he said, Roy Jones, out of his prime, is better than most guys in their prime. So don't sleep on that. The same guy, Edwin T., he also wants to know, can Miguel Cotto clean up the welterweight division?
I think this next coming fight right now, if he gets by Mosley in a devastating fashion, then yes, I believe that he could definitely clean up. Because I firmly believe that Mosley's probably by far one of the best fighters right now at 147. And if he gets by Mosley, then yes, I think he could definitely clean up the division. It's not going to be an easy task for anybody who's at 147 right now. That's a deep division with many deep fighters. I mean, Floyd Mayweather, Throne. I mean, we could be here all day talking about 147. It's a very deep division, so it's not going to be an easy task for anybody to clean up 147. But if he gets by Mosley in a very good fashion, yeah, I think he cleans up.
Definitely. I think he can definitely clean up the division of 147. But it all, again, boils down to if he gets past Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley right now is going to be the test, the litmus test that determines whether he moves on to the next echelon, you know, the great elite fighters, or if he stays stuck in that I'm a good fighter but not quite great.
Exactly.
So definitely wait on the outcome. If he does, his hardest fight out of the champions, I believe, would be Floyd Mayweather.
Mosley or Mayweather?
But I'm saying if he gets past Mosley, his toughest fight of the champs is going to be Mayweather.
All day long, definitely.
So that's the answer to that question. And now for the big question, just about everybody on YouTube has asked us, and everybody in our email has asked us. We've held on to this question for a while because we didn't want to go into it head first when it first broke. The fight between Mosley versus Cotto. Who do we believe is going to win?
Okay, well, I mean, I firmly believe, I'm going to tell you straight up, I believe Cotto's going to win. There's many different reasons why I believe Cotto's going to win. But I'm going to break it to you like this. Plain and simple, I think Shane Mosley is a shell of what he used to be. At 130, he was devastating. He had superior power. I mean, he had 38 wins, 35 knockouts coming up into the weights from when he was at 130. There's no doubt about it. He had power for days when he was at 130. But now at 147, he hasn't shown that power. He's fought journeymen, but it's not journeymen. I would say gatekeepers in David Estrada, journeymen in Cruz, a young cat that's just come up and really has no name to a recognition of who he's fought. And he won unanimous decision on both these guys. He knocked out Fernando Vargas, but Vargas has been damaged goods. I mean, as much as everybody wants to give credit, he was at 154 fighting Vargas. But Vargas, let's be honest, he was damaged goods and is damaged goods. I mean, I don't see it. In this next fight he's going to go against Mayweather, he's not going to last with him, to be honest. And Goyasu was a very good boxer, and he had his moments in that fight as well early in the rounds before he hurt his hand. So I think that Shane Mosley is not what he used to be, and therefore that's why I'm going to go lean towards Miguel Cotto, just for the fact that he's just a shell of what he used to be, and Cotto's going to be the man to crack that egg.
Well, let me say I do agree with most of his points that he said, but I'm going to play devil's advocate here because, of course, I'm going for Cotto, but just to show the other side of the coin. Mosley definitely is going to be probably the most powerful puncher that Miguel Cotto has fought. He's also the fastest that he's ever fought. So, and when you put those two together, I mean, it's going to be a long night for Cotto. If Cotto doesn't move and doesn't keep his chin or face out the way, he will go down. There's no doubt about it with this fight. You know, he can taste the canvas. I believe this is a crossroad fight for the both of them. Cotto is now the new champ coming up and moving up in the world, and then here's Shane Mosley, the gatekeeper, pretty much. I mean, if whoever wins this fight is gonna go on to fight Mayweather, to fight Strong, to fight Paul Williams. You know, this is gonna be, and this is probably one of the most anticipated fights of this year right now. It's just because of who they are and how strong they are. But again, I think Miguel Cotto's coming forward all the time, and Shane Mosley's quick, accurate punches. Now, let me put it this way. If Shane Mosley can be like the Shane Mosley of old that came in throwing combinations, laser-accurate combinations. Definitely. We're talking about 5 to 8 power combination hits. You know, Shane Mosley can knock out Cotto doing these kind of fights. No doubt. Now, if Cotto comes in the way he fought in his earlier fights, a lot of the head movement, a lot of ducking down to avoid punches, then he can make a very hard night for Mosley too, as well. And plus, his power and combination can hurt Mosley as well.
Definitely.
So, in conclusion, it can be a good fight either way. I'm looking for youth to win this fight, but I mean, don't sleep on Shane Mosley because Shane Mosley is great.
Yeah, I don't think, as powerful as Miguel Cotto is, I don't think he's going to affect the body as much as everybody thinks. I think Shane is a veteran, and he's got a very tough body. He's never been knocked down or knocked out on his body, too. That's another thing. So I think that it's going to be 12 rounds. It's going to be a hard-fought decision for me.
I believe it's the same thing. It's going to be a hard-fought decision for Cotto. So I hope that answers your question. And that wraps it up for this week's edition of the Mailbag, guys. If you got any questions for us, you know where to hit us up at p4pmail@yahoo.com. You see that orange button that says subscribe? You don't know what to do. Click it. And this is Pound for Pound Boxing.